gonna have some fun. So if you can't hear me at all, just keep me posted. I am outside, so you might get some outside noise. But let's dive in. So just take a few breaths together. Arrive. So I was talking to my business mentor this morning, and she was reminding me of how it gets to be easier. And then I'm thinking about the jewelry business. I'm like, oh, how can I make this easier? So it's beautiful perspective. And I also want to invite you into this perspective and storyline as well. So I want to refer to my notes because I always have a lot to say. I come on and I'm like, hey, hola. So God woke me up at 6:30 today, and it was like, yes, go online and speak because that's what you're here for. So I was thinking about choice, and it brought me back to when I was younger. It brought me back to a time where, depending on who I was around and what family member I was with, I would be able to eat different types of food. So depending on who I was with, the menu of what I could choose from was wider, more expansive. I was allowed to choose more expensive food depending on who I was with. So I want to bring us into this space of why we even want more money to begin with. And the why is important because if we don't have a relationship with the why, then we can just be kind of like in this rat race and like following, the next person or following the leader kind of thing. But then I've been thinking about this question for myself, like why? And why is because it has given me choice in my life. So when I was 14, I started working. And I was like, this is great. I get to work, my money will go towards the things that I want. Now I have a choice. And during that time, it's like I'm working and I'm saving my money and I'm spending my money and I'm going through this routine of, well, this is what you do, right? This is what you do when you make money. You spend it and then you go back to work and then you spend it. And I'm like, this isn't really that fulfilling because, well, look at the job I had. I'm like working in a deli, right? And I knew in that moment, I'm like, I do not want to do this for the rest of my life. And so there was always another layer to the job that I had. It was like always another escape, if you will. And now I'm at a point where there's no more escaping. It's like, this is life. You're either here and you're going to make the moves, or we're going to keep running, right? We're going to either look at what we want and we're going to make it happen, or we're going to do the same old stuff, right? So which one do you want? Which one are you choosing? So this morning, what came through for me on this like storyline of like my life growing up was witnessing that I had a beautiful life. I have a beautiful life. And I want more. And I want more. And going on vacation and being with my family, I felt like I didn't have so much of a choice on like I slept, you know, getting the tastiest food, getting the best food on the menu. It was like this is this is what you're eating and this is what you get. And when you're growing up and when you're young, that is kind of what happens. It's like your family tells you that this is what it is and this is you accept that. And then as you grow up, you can still be accepting those same storylines, those same, I have to save my money right now and not eat this yummy meal. A butterfly just passed by. I have to say no because even though I want it, but I'm going to say no because I'm worried to spend money. So how many times have you been in that, I'm worried to spend money? And it's like, but I want this. And then I want to ask you, do you say I want to spend money and then this feeling comes up and then you spend the money? And what happens at that point? So I'm curious because a lot of women that I work with, we have similar visions. We have similar visions to live in a beautiful home with beautiful grass and allow the children to run around in the grass and life to feel effortless and see our clients and make delicious food. And think about a house. Like that is an investment. You have to lay money out and then you pay X amount of dollars a month. And you can either wait 20 years to save up for your house, or you can save up a little bit and then get a house, right? And pay each month. So that right there is an investment. That right there is X amount of money for a roof over your head, for a family, for a place for your family to live, right? So, okay, granted that. So then let's talk about business, where it's like, okay, I want to start a business, but I have no money. Oh, I have to wait. It's like, do you really have to wait? Do you really have to wait? Or can you make a move now? Because I think about, I'm here in Florida and I see all these beautiful boutiques. And I'm like, oh, it's so cool. I want to open up a boutique one day. This is so much fun. And there's a part of me that's like, oh, let me work here. Let me get some experience around like running a business, like running a store business. And then it's like, but is that really what I want? Do I really want to work in a store, or do I want to run the store? Now, this is like where we're here and we start asking these bigger questions. Like, what do you really want? Do you really want to start a business, or do you like saying that you're going to start a business? Do you really want to grow your business, or do you want to stay here? Because either one is fine, right? It's just, what do you want? So as I'm like seeing these boutiques and I'm taking myself shopping and it's so exciting. I'm like, oh, I want to have a store like this. And then I think, oh, I wonder how much rent this is. I wonder how much money this is to run a store, right? So automatically that put me in a place of like, oh, well, money has to be coming in order to pay the rent, in order to pay the employees. So right there, upgrade of the thinking, right? An upgrade of the thinking of where we're going, right? So let's say $8,000 a month overhead. So we could either look at that like, oh my gosh, I can't ever make that for my store. How is that going to happen? Or we could look at it as like, okay, $8,000 investment. Let's go. Let's make it happen. So of course you have to have a vision and a plan for your business, right? But what I'm learning through this work is the believing, not even the believing, even a step further is the knowing that you can have it and you can do it. So how many of you can sit here and be like, I know that I am destined for something greater? You could say, I feel, right? I feel like I'm destined for something greater. So what's that greaterness that you're destined for? What is it? What is it? And then, not even an action step at this point, more or less, what's the story of why? What's the story of why you can't be in that, I'm destined for something greater? The greatness, why can't you be in that? Whatever that looks like to you. So, money allows us to have more choice. Choice allows us to have more freedom, to buy what we want, to go where we want, to travel where we want. So when you're growing up, you have a limited amount. You're limited when it comes to choice. And then when you grow up, you think that you're still limited. You think that you're still limited on your choice, but not. So today, choosing, do I want to open up to a different way? Do I want to open my body, my life to a different way? Because it's all about perspective. So I want to read some of my notes. So I wrote down, money allows us to have more choice, freedom, opportunity to do what you want. And then, so choice, money gives us choice. And then I want to talk about standards. Money changes your standards. So depending on how much you've spent in your life, you will have different standards for your life. So I think why we get caught up on standards and having a say in what we want and raising the bar is because the people around us might say something, or they have said something in the past and that is still in us. And we're low-key, subconsciously pleasing the voices, right? Instead of taking back our power and being like, wait, who am I? What do I want? What do they want? Not what Instagram wants, not what the fucking naysayer wants, not what your mom and dad want. Thank you for your opinion and your love. What do you want? Right? What do you want? So once you raise standards, you no longer tolerate things below your standards. So I think about luxury brands or luxury hotels or luxurious higher standard places. The reason why it's X amount of money is because of the standard. You're paying for the beauty, you're paying for the customer service, you're paying for the quality. So when it comes to working online and when you are the face of your business, the face of your brand, where's the standard there? You have to set that standard, right? So money changes your standards for what you pay for and how you feel when you do it. So this is what I wrote down. So what you pay for and how you feel when you pay it matters. So recently I've been going through a lot of like this energy in my business where I'm like, wait, but I'm here, like I feel myself going there, but like I'm getting pulled back into old stories. Should I go work and get a regular job just to have some like baseline income so that I can focus on my new jewelry business and then the business that in-person business that I'm creating here in Florida? You know, I had all this like, what should I do? What should I do energy? And then I had to keep coming back to, well, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Right? When we ask ourselves, what do we want to be doing? That's when everything changes. So what do I want? I want to run Sacred Diosa and expand it in the US and in other countries. I want to start my in-person Reiki healing business as well as outdoor classes. Okay, I want that. We're going to do that. And I want my online Jess Moreau's Hi This Business, serving women in their intimate lives and their creative businesses. I want that to be thriving too. Okay, so that's what I want. Now, where's the how? So the how is like I have some action steps in place, yet I know that there's a lot of stuff and stories happening, right? So I was like, I want someone to help me. I want someone on my team to be like, no, Jess, I see what you're saying, and it doesn't have to go that way. It doesn't have to be that hard. And that was one of the things that my mentor reminded me this morning. She's like, it doesn't have to be that hard. You've been used to it being hard and making it complex. Make it simple. Make it simple. And I want to share this with y'all to look at your life right now and ask, where are you making it harder than it has to be? Where are you making it more complex? Because I think we like to be busy. There's a part of us, especially if you're from New York and you're still getting that out of your system. I'm still not even getting the New York out of my system. Also, I'm Aries, so you can't get that out of my system. Can y'all hear me? Say hi. Because I know that I'm like outside, so there's a little bit of noise. Say hi. But we like to make things harder than they have to be, right? Because it makes us feel like we're getting something done, right? But does it have to be like that? Really? Because at that point, you're just wasting time. So that's where I'm at. Like, I don't want to waste any more time on the BS. And when I say the BS is like the dog chasing its tail kind of energy, right? So where I want to go is already here. It's already here. Yes, I had to take some action steps, but knowing that what I desire is already here, and I can be exactly who I am to receive it. Right here, right now, exactly who I am. I don't have to do any more trainings. I don't have to study anymore. I can be exactly who I am, exactly where I'm at, with all the things that I learned in my 29 years of life. And I can have what I desire. Where are you making it harder in your life? So let's get into talking about, hi, Vita Linda, thank you. Let's get talking into perspective on debt. So we could see debt, like if we have debt right here, right? So there's one view of debt on this side, and there's another view on this side, and then another one right here, right? So depending on the way that you turn the debt hand, you'll see a different perspective, right? So we could say, we can let the debt be a big burden on us, or we can come from a place of gratitude and know that it won't be there forever, and know that when you invest your money, that it will come back, trusting that you have the capacity to make that money back. Or God might deliver you some money spontaneously, or a job offer may come to you spontaneously. We don't know, right? But we can look at debt and say, thank you for the opportunities that you have given me, right? Or we could sit back and we can kind of be in this like take the shape of like a energy of debt, right? It's like, and debt can also bring up a lot of like shame and guilt, and really it's like, I'm in debt from school, from my business investments, yet every day I see how I have a different perspective on it. And that roller coaster of emotions, right? Which is natural. The roller coaster of emotions is natural, especially if you're a woman, right? But what's your perspective on it? And is your perspective limiting you to where you're going? So I think of businesses like that. I'm going to just use this warehouse across the street for me. The warehouse across the street, I don't even know exactly what they do, but let's just say maybe it's a brewery. Okay, so they have to buy the beer bottles, they have to buy the supplies to make the beer, they have to hire all the employees, they have to have money, they have to have the funds to even create this vision, right? So there's a trust that the business is going to make the money, right? So I wrote something recently about like staying on the sidelines because, oh, I don't know if anyone's going to come. Oh, I don't know if anyone's going to pay me. Oh, I don't know. And it's like, well, what if you did know? What if you did know, like, coming on here, okay, if nobody was on here, like, I'm still going to talk, right? I'm still showing up, still here, acting and being like I'm talking to someone. Because essentially I am. Y'all are just coming in at different times. So if you knew that people were on the other side waiting for you, that people were there like ready to hear from you, ready to learn from you, that wanted to buy your products, what would you do differently? So because you feel that nobody is coming, you're like, I'm not even going to start anyways. And because you feel that nobody's coming, you're just on the sidelines watching the people that inspire you play the game. and you don't even get into the game because you believe that it can't happen for you. So the women that I work with, the women that I learn from, I'm inspired by them because I know that I can do it too. I know that I can do it too. Now I want to be in that space, be in that field with them. So when you spend your money to a class, right? Say yes to a yoga class or yes to a program, an online course. You're saying yes to that person's energy and to who they are, right? And you're also saying yes to yourself. Yes, that you trust. Yes, that you trust that you're going to get something out of it. So one of the reasons why I feel like people are scared to spend their money is I'm not scared to spend my money. I have other fears. I have other fears, and we talk about those. We talk about those a lot. I talk about them online, like y'all, but I talk a lot about them in my programs and with my one-to-one clients because I'm human and I share what I've been through, and then that allows you to be reminded that you're human too, and that we all go through similar things at different stages of our life, right? So so money talks. And what do I mean by that? I want to prop y'all up a little bit. So what do I mean by money talks? A price has an energy to it, right? So who's here that's in the coaching business, that's in mentoring business, or working online, whether it be a service or a product? Who's here has a service-based business or a product-based business? Fixing my table. That is my harmonium. Okay. So I'm asking who's in the product-based business or service-based business, because if you are asking someone to pay you or inviting, right? It's an invitation. No one has to buy anything that they don't want to, right? As for you, you don't have to buy anything you don't want to. But where do you spend your money? And how do you feel when you spend your money? And who are you spending your money on? And what stories are you spending your money on? So Vita, tell me more about working on your business or working on becoming whatever it is. I would love to hear what you're working towards and what's the vision. So let's say, I'm going to just use an example. So let's just say, Reiki sessions. My Reiki sessions, depending on if they're online, how long they are, if they're in person, depending on the rate, it's gonna evolve, right? Depending on what I'm offering. So let's just say I'm just gonna use $180. It's like a nice number right now. $180 for a Reiki session. So how did I come up with this price? And how does it feel in my body? And have I ever spent that much money on Reiki sessions or on myself? So you want to start looking at how much money have you spent on yourself in a way that that you have wanted to. Not because like someone told you to spend the money on you, but where have you spent the money that you wanted to on yourself? And what did that look like? Going to the spa, getting a healing session, hiring a mentor, hiring a life coach, hiring a dietitian, right? Knowing what it is you want is key. And I also want to use the word need as well, because we do have needs and desires. So I had to ask myself recently, what do I need right now in my life? And what do I want? So I said to myself, I don't really want a business mentor, like a typical business mentor, whatever that means. I mean, like that word business mentor can be, it's like an umbrella term. Because at the end of the day, I talk to women about their businesses, but we end up talking about their heart, their emotions, their relationship, their womb. Talk about routine. Like, business is an umbrella term for literally your life, right? But there's different types of business mentors and coaches, and I played under that title for a hot second, but that's not at the core of what I do. It's a facet of my work because I am an entrepreneur myself. But that's not the title I like to play in. So I'm going to just read some comments. So Vito wants a healing business. Tell me more. What kind of healing business? Luckily, I seem to have a non-attachment to money. But I do love your message regarding what do I want? Powerful. Not what should I be doing? Exactly. So tell me more about your healing business. So this non-attachment to money. Interesting that you say that. Because it can be fun to, we want to play in this realm of I'm not attached, yet also claim what you want as well, right? So a lot of people when they're just starting out are like, I just want to do it for free because I just love it so much. I just want to give all of me for free because then it's just no worries. I don't have to worry because I don't have a price, right? Yet, is that really serving you? I would love you to DM me, Vida, and tell me all the multitude of the things you want. Because same, I have a lot of things I want too. So when I started my business, I started out as donation based because it took pressure off of me to put a price on what I do. Oh, just pay me what you can. Don't worry, just pay me what you can. And it's so funny. I look back and like I would get looks like, what? Just pay whatever I want. Well, give me a number. So then I started to do like $5 to $20. I was like, you could pay me $5 to $20. And I started to give a range because people were confused. They were like donation based. Like, I just want to be told what to pay. So it's so funny with that weird, confusing energy that I was getting back when I would tell people donation based. I was like, I'm just going to put a price on it, make it easier, right? It's an even exchange. We know what they're getting. You know what you're getting. I know what I'm getting back, right? Okay, so I made the class $15, right? Okay, and then eventually I made the class $20. So prices change and evolve, right? As we grow and expand, our prices change with us, right? And then how do you feel about your own prices? How do you feel about the industry you're in and their prices? So when you see someone doing something that similar to your work. They can either inspire you or trigger you. So an inspiration of, wow, this person's making this amount of money. Wow, okay, that's amazing. I would love to be in that field. I would love to make that much money too, right? Or look at it from another perspective of like, I don't think that's worth it. And again, you can have your own opinions, right? Perspective. I don't think that's worth it. That's way too expensive. Out of my budget. Da, 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 da. So the language you use around seeing others with something that you don't have is really important, because it shows you where there's a little bit of shadows. A little bit of shadows. There's a little bit of, ugh, right? So I think of jealousy, and jealousy, I remember one of my teachers saying this: jealousy is inspiration in a downward spiral. So it's like taken out of context. So it's like initially you were inspired by this person, and then a part of you is like, oh, now I'm a little jealous, right? So where's that jealousy coming from? Is it coming from the fact that this person has similar things that you desire for yourself, and you think that you can't have them? Or you think that you're not good enough? What's the story that comes up when you feel that? Because the feelings are almost like a portal or a pathway. The feelings are a pathway for you to listen more deeply, right? To allow the feeling to speak, to give it a voice, and then to see the storyline, and then to see if it's actually true. And then can we rewrite the story? So I think I said relatively all that I wanted to say today. If you have any questions, let me know. I really want to go live with y'all the next few days and just play and have some fun. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day. Costa Rica is in a few weeks. If you're a woman and you want to join us, you're more than welcome. Message me. Ciao. Ciao, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.